Yo everyone, in this video I'm gonna introduce some way of doing manipulating strings. Yes, manipulating strings, but only certain ways. There are many ways of manipulating strings, but in this video I'm gonna introduce one way, and that is to find the most occurrence letter from a given string and replace it with another symbol, such as a star or maybe perhaps something else. But in this case, I'm going to start. It's going to be a star. I'm going to show you an example. Now, as you can see, this is what it will display in my output text. As you can see from here. Now, this is the output, and this is the input data. So it's gonna find the most occurrence of a certain letter and replace it with a certain symbol, which is a star. I said it. And this is E, and this one's going to be E as well. So here, as you can see. Now let's go back to the program, the coding, and I'm gonna let us merge. Okay. In this code, we have three things imported. These are everything from IO, scanner, and array list. And this method, I use a throws IO exception just in case something happens. And then I have two classes for reader writer in and out objects, which it could assign their default value to now and have a array list class, and its object is called output list. Now I have a try, and this will cover until here. And so all this inside here is my program, my operation, how my program will work. Okay, this is my scanner class, and this is my object obj. Now this is slightly different. No, actually this is totally different from what we usually do with scanners basic stuff. Instead of just typing system.in, I use an object out of a class called file reader, because it gives me take in all the sentences, the strings from my input file right here. Now, in this loop, it's going to detect whether this input.text has the strings. If it does not, then it will break the loop and it will do nothing. Now, in this loop, object obj dot next line. This one, if there is anything, this not next line, which means if there's sentences, if there are any sentences, they will be assigned to str, a string, and then another array, integer array called frequency. It will be created, and this is the limitation. So the longer the str, the longer frequency will be able to contain. Now another variable called maxchar. I'm gonna get back to it later, because this maxchar is gonna be it's gonna represent our the letter that has the most occurrence from a given string. And these three variables going to be used in the for loops and assigning the most occurrence letter. To do so, first we have a str.char array. What it does is going to convert this string into a character array and assign it to a string array, a character string array. Now this is a nested for loop. What it does is going to count each word in a given string and store in an array frequency. Now I'm going to explain this. This is very important. Why it's like, what's the condition? How it does is that now string I is equivalent to string j. So what you as all programmers must know that when the string the second for loop is over from the first loop, only then string I can proceed that I equals I plus 1, so that I can proceed the next step only after the j finishes full entire loop based on the condition. So like the first letter of your given string will be A, and this one will be A as well, but this one will stay at A, but while this we could go over to the next index, and it could be any letter. It could be A again, it could be B, C, D, and so on. And it's going to detect whether it's the same as this. If it does, and other conditions are satisfied, then only the frequency will be able to add it on, so that this will be assigned to our max child, and that's the whole point of this program. And this uh, here is blank. Why is it blank? Because we don't want to count blanks. That's why we have this exclamation mark equal and right, and this is blank. We are not counting blanks, we are counting letters. Now this final condition is to prevent redundancy, and this one as well. The same goes for string I and string j. We do not want to count the same thing. Now this one is determine the maximum occurrence character. To do so, we have a frequency, remember, integer array assigned to max, and we have another for loop. In this for loop, we use a frequency array and use its index. Now, this is the comment. You can read it already. Once you read it, you'll be able to understand. So, like after multiple scannings, we will detect all of them and find the most occurrence of the letter. I mean all means all the occurrences, all the frequencies of the letter of each certain letters. Now, after the for loop has finished, this character maxsha, which I told you, is going to represent our letter that it has the most occurrence. But sadly, this is still a character, so which is why I use this method to string out this character class to and then assign it to a max letter. Now this is a string. Only then I'll be able to use this method called replace all and replace this letter of them has the most occurrence with the star symbol, and assign this entire thing to line. And on this is what I want. This is the line that that's displayed in this output now. And what I have done is this. Instead of after using scanner, which is a way of reading the file, but what about writing? Writing is this method, this entire thing. Now, why I use for loop instead of just typing out.write and the line right here? Why? It's because I want to be more flexible, my code to be more flexible. In case if there are multiple different lines like this, if I don't have the for loop, and these four lines will be converged into one single line, and it's going to make everything a mess. So that's why I use this method for loop and all these methods inside it, you can see, to make all of this possible. Now this is a catch exception, found exception, just in case if the file is not found right here. It will print this warning message that an error has occurred. Now finally, this one means that this code within this finally will definitely be run. Will definitely run. And in this case, there are two condition statements. Definitely, I use the double if just so that to make sure that these two things are close, because once they are read or written, it doesn't matter. They have to be close to prevent any error. Now, thanks for watching.